everyone, how are we today? Just doing a bit of a different reading today. I am going to be doing a reading for two YouTubers that I absolutely adore, Selena Spooky Boo and Call Me Chris. Okay, so Chris Collins and Selena Myers. We're doing a reading for those two wonderful, amazing women today. Fangirling out a little bit just at the thought of doing a reading for them, even though they're probably never going to see this. Just a bit of fun, guys. I will be doing this the way that I would do a personal reading, one-on-one with people. Sometimes I do change it up a little bit, but I'm just going to sort of stick to my rough kind of format of a personal reading. If you do want a personal reading, all my info is in the description box. So you can contact me through social media and all that sort of stuff. Make sure you do subscribe, leave a comment, all that sort of stuff as well. I do really appreciate that, being just such a small non-monetized channel. I do this because I enjoy it, and these are two YouTubers that I absolutely adore, and I do really enjoy their videos. So anyone who does not know who they are, I recommend, checking their channels out. So you've got Call Me Chris, as well as Selena Spooky Boo, and that's Selena with a C. So Selena actually, I was introduced to these two because Selena does or has had a lot of videos about her sleepwalking episodes, which are hilarious. She is a hilarious person. I do really, find a lot of things about these two women that similarities, I suppose, that things I see in myself that I do see, in those and those two, and they've really sort of given me an appreciation for some of those qualities within myself. So I really adore that. Thank you. Shout out to them both. I will try to tag them both and, email them both or whatever. But they both are very big channels, very big YouTubers. So, I really kind of doubt that they will see this reading, but I am going to do that for them because in the Can't Sleep podcast that they have now joined forces and they're doing a podcast together. It's called Can't Sleep. I was watching that the other day and they were talking about they wanting to get a psychic reading and all that sort of stuff. So, I do read the Lenormand cards. I do have a lot, I'm not one that likes labels, but on my business cards, I do have psychic intuitive Lenormand reader. So, I do, and I have been known to predict a few things here and there. I think I'm up to 7 accurate pregnancy predictions now. I have also predicted a few more unfortunate events for people as well. As well as just, random things here and there, predicting those as well. So I really love it when people give me that feedback, letting me know, oh, this happened and that happened, and you had said this in the reading. And I actually had one particular one from one of my personal readings was the story of, because I love love, right? And there was one particular reading, it was a story of, meeting somebody very important and that sort of stuff that I kind of had hit on in a reading with somebody. And then, they let me know, oh, I met the person the same month that you said I was going to meet them. And, it makes sense now why you said this and that. And so that was really one of my personal favorites, obviously, as well as all the the accurate pregnancy predictions. I'm up to quite a few, like that's just in the last couple of years. So that's been quite interesting. I can't predict the sexes though. That's something I've noticed and I don't know whether it's because, babies are, all one sex while they're in utero and things like that. But I can't really predict the sexes quite as easily as the pregnancy happening. So very interesting. So I will be using a couple of decks here today. I have chosen the Herbs and Plants Lenormand for Selena, and I am going to be using the Pop Art Lenormand for Chris. But I do have quite a few oracles here as well. I've got, what, 5 in front of me here, so I'm not going to bother naming them all. I may name them as I use them, but we're going to sort of get started. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to start as a bit of a general thing, and then I will move a little bit more into separate energies for the 2 of them. Okay, so we're going to start off with an animal spirit energy for both Selena and Chris. So I don't really know all that much about Selena and Chris. Obviously, only what I've seen on their YouTube channels. I'm pretty sure Selena is a Pisces, and I'm pretty sure that Chris, I have a vague recollection of Chris saying she was also a water sign and Cancer. So I do think we've got Pisces and Cancer, but I know for sure Selena is Pisces. I remember that one a few times has been mentioned on the channels. So starting off for Selena, animal spirit card for Selena. Oh, I love that for you, Selena. We have the giraffe coming through, which is the card of the visionary, which kind of makes sense with Selena being a little bit of a medium herself. So rise above earthly matters, glide through life with grace. You're able to see the right path, stand tall in your self-worth, and love with a big heart. So Selena's already doing that, loving with a big heart. That this woman does have a huge heart from what I have seen on her channels. But it's that visionary, being able to, really see things ahead and have this kind of magical foresight to really be able to trust her intuition and know that she's taking herself in the right directions and that she is making the right choices for herself. And I feel like that's coming through very strongly with her business sense, that, she just intuitively knows, oh, follow that, that I'm so, like, and it's coming from passion, I feel, for Selena as well. The passion takes her down those paths and tells her push for that particular thing or whatever, and those things work out really well for her. Chris, animal spirit energy for Chris, please. So yeah, it's like Selena's like can see above the situation as well. She can like really stand back and take a bit more of an objective view rather than allowing herself to get caught up in everything. It's very interesting. At the bottom of the deck here, I do actually have the tiger energy. You can kind of see both the tigers in there, the white tiger and the normal tiger. I just feel like there's a little something here about, these two are a really good pairing. That they're, I imagine that that's Chris. The white tiger is Chris, and then the darker tiger is Selena. But the thing about pride, that they're creating this awesome little pride for themselves. I know that that's really lions that have the pride, but that's sort of how it's coming through, this little family unit. For Chris here, we do have the hawk, which is a messenger spirit. Okay, spirit is sending you messages. Open your greater vision to see the signs. Focus on priorities and eliminate distractions. You have a bright future. Let yourself ascend to new heights. So for Chris, I feel like this is actually kind of wanting to open her up to understand that she really is actually about to start on a bit more, or has already kind of started on a little bit more of a spiritual journey just within her own self, and that she doesn't trust herself as much with what she is perceiving when it comes to the energy and the spiritual side of the world. I kind of feel like there is this potential where Chris might actually be able to start connecting to things on an energy level a lot more deeper in the near future. And I kind of feel like I really am getting this energy that it's kind of like, especially, Chris openly has ADHD. As someone with ADHD myself, I get it. But that's why it's like, focus on your priorities and eliminating distractions. I feel like there's something there about you know, the more that she opens up to this side of life, um, and eliminates all those extra distractions around herself, and just sort of sits with it, um, she's gonna have these moments of like, am I going crazy? Thinking that she's going crazy, like I think I'm like full blown crazy. Like I can just kind of see her like, going crazy. I think I'm going crazy, crazy. Like worrying, like actually worrying about like things like schizophrenia and things like that. But it's actually the signs that she's getting from the universe that are coming through in a way that is sort of, she's just like, ah. So there is already sort of small messages trying to come through to Chris, in regard to, things that she's seeing around herself in moments of stillness. And she may be seeing, certain things quite frequently, and things that she's, blasting off as coincidence quite a lot. And it's just sort of increasing around Chris, um, which is quite interesting because it's telling me that it's like Selena's going to be kind of so wrapped up in life. Like, I know both these women have a lot on their plates, and they've both got their hands in so many different things, and they're so busy with work related things. Um, but it's like Selena's adding a whole new layer to that. She's actually, um, I kind of want to just say she's pregnant, but it's via surrogacy. But I will get back to that whole topic in a minute, but because there is some stuff for that as well for Selena. But Selena's just going to have so much like on her plate that Chris is just going to be kind of forced to be a little bit more rolling through some of this stuff by herself a little bit more, than what she currently is. She just, they're best friends. She just may not have that best friend, to bounce ideas off quite as much. And so I just feel like it's going to increase a lot, for Chris once Selena has the baby. And I do feel as though Chris is actually very connected to this child as well. Like, I feel like she may actually get messages specifically to do with the child, and it's kind of like Chris waking up in the middle of the night going, the baby's crying. And then Selena like messaging her going, oh, are you awake? The baby just woke me up. Just random little things like that. Um, yeah, so both these women have a very, Selena is like creating this clear path ahead of herself, whereas Chris just has this natural path laid out for her that it is just increasing exponentially, in multiple areas. I feel like Chris's life is just gonna just keep going up, um, up and up and up, and getting better and better and better kind of thing. It's and taking on things that she never thought she would. Like I'm getting like a lot of messages about, that let yourself ascend to new heights, like really, really branching out to new things that never thought she would be even interested in, and expanding herself into those things. And I do kind of feel like there may even be like an extra level of fame coming for Chris in the near future as well. Um, like, because it's kind of showing me like, you know, working on a movie, or I don't think it's a movie. I think it's like more so like behind the scenes, but there's a lot of fame that is connected to it as well. So it's kind of like both roles there. I'll delve into that as we go, but just as a start, I am getting quite a lot of messages for both of them there, so it's quite interesting. But just looking at their combined energy, I just want to have a quick look at the combined energy. Okay, no, it's telling me to save that deck for a minute. Move over to this other oracle deck. It's really wanting a lot of combined energy for the both of them here. There's you know, very, very strong soul ties between this pair. Um, and it's like, it's amazing. They're both like yin and yang. They really balance each other out really well. Like even with, when I was saying before, with the light and the dark tiger, it's like the light and the dark. The you know, you've got Selena with the more you know, the more goth look like mine, and then you've got Chris, who's very, you know, pale and quite often blonde or red hair. Um, so even just on that aspect, the white and the black, you know, the yin and the yang. But they're creating this really interesting grouping around them. They're slowly adding people to the clan that are, and there's still a few more people to come too, which is interesting. Selena and Chris, please. Selena and Chris's combined energy. This is amazing. This is amazing. Look at this. Sovereign energy. Okay, you draw upon inner strength to overcome. And when I first read that, I misread that as you draw upon each other's strength to overcome. So once again, it's that yin and yang balance that, you know, when it's like that, you know, if I've only got 20% to give, the other one's giving 80 to make up for it. And we're really, you know, helping each other out, giving each other strength when we need it, and that sort of thing. We also have sacred union. Okay, so I know that that looks like a romance card. Together you achieve an intimate state of oneness. So it's just really talking about that soul connection that this pair has. That it's a very sacred union. You know, they may have actually lived lifetimes in the past together as a couple as well. I kind of feel I am sort of seeing, you know, a past life where Selena was like a male, and Chris was her wife, or his wife, I should say. Okay, but I will move straight over into. Oh, actually, no, it's. Gotta love when the cards talk to you sometimes. I've been working with a lot of these decks for so long that they just don't shut up. Selena and Chris, combined energy, please. Selena and Chris, combined energy. Yeah, so once again, sweet success. Okay, and look at that. This is actually, you know, this is actually like Chris taking a bigger role in the friendship in the near future as well. Like, and really being that strength for Selena in the future, and really being the leader in a lot of ways in the future of this connection, and really like helping Selena push further and further, because Chris is just naturally going further and further. She's not leaving Selena behind, though. She's making sure you're right next to me, you know. Sweet success. And I just thought, you know, it's funny with the candy, because Chris has a candy company, the Sour Boys candy. It's not difficult to get everything you want and enjoy it. So it's all about getting what you want. So Chris hasn't even touched the tip of the iceberg sort of thing. There's a lot more coming with Chris. And we do see spiritual work coming through here as well. Open your heart to a spiritual career and heal the human heart. You are a light worker. So I do feel as though there is, you know, potentially a need for Chris and Selena to actually incorporate spiritual energy a little bit more into what they're doing in the future. I know that they do the ghost hunts and things like that, but I do feel as though there's just something else that they will just fall into, and it'll come across their path, and they will incorporate that a little bit more into, you know, their channels and things like that. Even if it's just on a personal level, and propelling themselves a little bit further on a personal growth kind of level. You know, because I kind of see that about both of them as well, that they're both very vested in doing the work, and becoming better people each and every day to what they may have been in the past, and, not losing themselves in the process, like still able to, look back at the past and have a giggle over the silly things, that's happened, or, the crazy things that have happened. Chris does still have a little bit of healing there as well. There's something in the past that has happened that has really, she's still holding on to that a little bit as well. I just wanted to say. But splitting up into the separate energies, I want to start with Selena, because obviously Selena has the baby on the way. Okay, so I want to sort of firstly check in on that and see, if there's anything important we need to know in regards to the baby boy. I'm hearing the name Ethan and Pierre. Is it Pierre? Is that how you say it? So they may be connected to this child or another child that may come into their life down the track. There may just be some connection to the names Ethan or Pierre. So we have transformation coming through, followed by the cracker. So this little boy is really going to be a little firecracker. Okay, with Selena as his parent, how could he not? Reaching out for the power and strength to make changes, enriching your life and becoming the person that you want to be. So this is something you have been wanting to make this transformation for a very long time. I understand it's been a very long journey, but I am actually picking up here with that transformative energy that there's some unexpected stuff coming that it's kind of like, it's reminding me of like when I had my child, and there was some issues when I first had my child over connecting to him. That's just part of my personal journey. Like me and him are like, he's my little shadow these days, and he is so much like me. It's not funny. I kind of see the same sort of storyline for Selena here as well, that this is going to actually transform Selena in a lot of different ways, because this child is going to be such a mirror for herself, and she's really going to understand herself in new kinds of ways. But there may just be a little bit of struggle, because I am picking up on a little bit of kind of like postpartum, when the child, for the first couple, like it's feeling like not really in the first 3 months, but then the 3 to 6 month period. There may be some issues with some postpartum depression kind of stuff coming through for Selena, because it's like, and I kind of get her like kind of really frustrated about that, because she's like, but it wasn't even my body that went through this change, so why? Like I feel like it's just disbelief that postpartum can happen to someone that hasn't actually been partum. If that is, I don't even know the medical terms or anything. Okay, but that's how it's sort of coming through. It's like, I wasn't even pregnant, so why is it affecting me like this? But like, it's just because it's something that, even though you've spent such a long time preparing for this and wanting this, and then the reality of it is just sometimes it's just not what you expected, even if you know listed down every little thing to expect. There's always something that just throws you out of whack, and it's like, wow. Because I'm really getting the phrase of like, something that I've said to people in the past is like, I know everyone told me that when I had my child that I would never sleep again, but I really didn't understand I would never sleep again. I really just didn't understand the weight of that, and what it's actually like to live that. And I do feel as though this may actually affect Selena as well. The first 3 months, it feels like it's going to be like a very much like a whirlwind. But then that 3 to 6 month time period, there may just be some issues coming up for Selena, when it comes to settling into it. And this is not what I thought it was going to be, kind of thing. Not in a bad way, because I feel like she's going to be a great mother. And it's just, a lot of it's going to be like, I didn't realize I was like this, because of this cracker energy, that this is such a celebration, but it's also this like, wow, it's like an explosive energy coming in, and it's transforming things in a really interesting way. Positive energy surrounds this, love and joy, good fortune, definitely all involved in this transformation. But it's really very much like, you know, it's such a celebration, but it's also such a very explosive, like in your face kind of change. Clarify the energy of the baby boy for Selena. He may be born early as well. Just seeing that here. Just clarify that third card for Selena, please. So yeah, we do see changes coming in really quickly. Good news coming in really quickly. We have the rider coming through first. He's the messenger of good news. So Chris is going to be a big support for Selena during this time as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a moment there where, especially during that 3 to 6 month period, where Selena actually reaches out to Chris and says, "Just come and stay with me, please. I need you." Like, I feel like Selena does have a really good bunch of people around her, family-wise, that can support her. But I feel like there's just something about Chris that stabilizes her. She's the yin to the yang, so there's just something that helps her level herself out when Chris is around. So I would not be surprised if she's just like, "Chris, I need you to be here with me." And I kind of feel like with the rider, Chris will be there already, ready to help out any way possible. We have the bear coming through as well. So it's kind of like needing to really keep up boundaries, though, because there may be like, people might be trying to actually overstep boundaries when it comes to this child. And I feel like Selena's not prepared for this factor either. That, even just with a child that is not the child of somebody, with fame, to some extent there, that every single mother knows the stories about, knows about what it's like to be walking through a grocery store and old people trying to touch your child. I don't know what it is. It's like old people try to touch your child and they try to kiss your child. And you're like, "I've just had this baby, like this baby's just fresh and they haven't even had all their vaccinations and all this. And, that I don't want them to catch anything." And random people start kissing them and touching them and trying to pick them up and trying to tell you things about them and trying to tell you what to do. And I just feel like it's going to be very important for Selena to, have some solid boundaries around herself about, how much she's willing to, pardon, how much she's willing to, let people overtake, because it's kind of that energy of, like, I don't want to let go of this, but I need help, but I don't want to let go of this baby. And it's like, I don't want to give it up. I don't want to pass it to you. Don't touch my baby. This is my baby, but I really need you to take the baby. Like, it's that kind of energy. But so there is some strong boundaries that are going to need to be laid. I do feel as though there may just be one specific person, or just that it's giving me the both of it, that there's one specific person within the family who may overextend a little bit into uncomfortable territory of them trying to take over a little bit, or them trying to tell you what to do a little bit. But then you've just got the generalness of walking down the street and everyone wants to see the baby, everyone wants to touch the baby, everyone wants to, know the baby's name, know all about the baby. And, especially I know they've talked about, concerns about, the whole aspect of, what should I do about letting people know this is my baby, this is my baby's name, should I have a fake baby name and those sorts of things. If you do, well, I've got the names Ethan, yeah, Ethan and Pierre were the ones that keep coming through. Ethan is like, keeps telling me ether, and Pierre. I'm not sure what the ether reference is about, but maybe it's just because of the th sound keeps being prominent there. With Ethan, it may be something similar. It may not be Ethan. It may just be something with the th sound in it. Ethan, something like that. Then we do have the stalk, which I clarified with the lily. Okay, so that's sort of just really things getting really stirred up, and there may be a lot of energy really stirred up within the first sort of year. This energy within the family that I'm picking up on, with needing to have strong boundaries against people overstepping, people sort of trying to take the reins on something that you're like, but this is what I've wanted for so long. Can I just do it? Like, um, but then working out, really stirring up the ideas on how we're going to do things long term. How is this going to play out long term? Do I need to actually, there's some sort of transformations needing to happen long term that are going to be they're going to come up that you haven't even sort of planned for, accounted for. Um, there's just so much like sweetness attached to that, though. That's there is a lot of sweetness there as well, that it's like I just want to grow old with this baby in my arms. I don't want this baby to grow up, but it's kind of like, because we have from pregnancy until old age here, so this is kind of like, it's kind of a little bit of obsession. Selena absolutely obsessed with this baby. Like, I don't want to let it go, but I know I need help. I know I need to go to sleep or, whatever, but I just don't want to let go of this child. So there is a little bit of obsession going through there as well. So just maybe needing some boundaries with self as well, that, if you need sleep, make sure you get it. I just feel like there's an element there of being just so concerned about the frail, the frailness of life and things like that, which is, natural for any mother, of course. But it does sort of also show me that this child is actually going to have a pretty blessed life, to be honest. Clarify about the child. I want to know about the child, please. First, I have the snake. That's a very strong Scorpio placement that the child might have. So I know that Chris and Selena recently did their astrological charts in one of the videos, but they didn't really understand. Not going to lie, you didn't really understand them very well. But I feel like the child may actually have some very strong Scorpio traits, if not placements. I'm just trying to think. I'm pretty sure the baby is due in August, so I doubt that's not Scorpio season. But it's also kind of showing me that this child, as they grow up, this is going to be the sort of person that can sort of wheedle their way out of anything. They can, you know, they'll twist their words in whatever way they need to get around situations and get themselves out of trouble. And they're going to be a little bit like charming little snake charmer type energy, that they're really just going, everyone's going to, sway to the dance of their beat kind of thing, that they're going to, but I'm not going to lie, there's some energy there about especially, we always know it's going to be teenage years, right? But it may be a lot younger as well, that there may be some issues around um, the child telling little lies. That is the card of deception and um, illusions. They're going to really present this beautiful, pretty little face and um, trick people a lot, I think. Um, Trick people into, and they it feels like they're going to be the sort of kid that is like the ringleader of the group. They're the ones getting all the other kids to do the naughty stuff for them. So they're quite mischievous kind of energy, but we also have the heart. So they're also very loving, very, very loving child as well, because, the interesting thing about that snake energy is, yes, I did say it is the card of deception, but it's also the card of truth and finding the truth and following your truth. Pardon me. Sorry, it's winter here in Australia, and you know, allergies and all that fun stuff. It's kind of like the card of passion as well. Um, very physical energy as well. That probably a kid that's you know, gonna be a runner. He's gonna slip out of your hand. He's gonna be a slithery little thing. He's gonna slip out of your hands. You're gonna try to catch him, and he's gonna slip right on out and run off. So he's gonna be a runner. So I hope you and Adam are ready to start running. I feel like he will, slip free quite a lot and be a bit sneaky in that way. But it's the card of passion and desire, and just following their passions and desires. So, but they at the bottom of it all, they've got such a sweet heart, such a sweet little heart, and there's this unconditional love that is really going to shape them to be, a very integral, important part of who they are is the love that they show to others around them. Okay. Selena, in general, okay, it's asking me to move straight over to health related stuff. What does Selena need to know in regards to health? What does Selena need to know in regards to health? Maybe that's why I'm coughing so much. Oh wow, yeah. Because that's the hidden. That's some hidden energy here. I've got the lungs. I've got the chest. And so the lungs here. Right behind it, I've got the chest. So we're seeing the lungs again. And then the ribs, which is, as we know, part of the chest. And then we have immunity. Okay. Which is followed up by the bladder and kidneys, which I know, I do know that Selena does already have those sorts of issues connected to that sort of stuff. But there's something here about lungs, chest immunity that it's very. I feel like this is like a protective energy that we need to make sure we're protecting our lungs and and chest. I'm hearing pleurisy. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's a lung thing. But that's what I'm hearing, pleurisy. But it's because of low immunity. It's all some issues coming from low immunity. So it's very important to do keep on, be very on top of your immunity system and trying to build up immunity and have that in balance. And really protecting your lungs. Being careful not to breathe in anything toxic or even just being out in cold weather and things like that. I just really just getting this protective kind of needing to really look after protect the lungs. But the main ones I'm getting here is the digestion is the first one that's come out. So you know that's all about purifying and you know, eliminating things from your diet, um, as well as like the way that we're taking things on board into our body. So that's combining with that immunity energy. It's like I do feel as though there may be something, because it's showing me like dust and like chalk dust and like not digesting things properly that are chalky or like dust type. I don't know what that means in food, but something dusty, like because you're inhaling it rather than eating it, if that makes sense. Just something about that coming through. But we also have the teeth and the knees. So I feel like as we get older, knee issues are going to be a big thing. Teeth, I actually feel like that may be more to do with the child, actually. Teeth issues with the child. He may need to get braces or something along those lines. It does feel like more to do with as he matures, there's an issue with his bite, like maybe not his actual teeth, but the jaw itself and where it sits and the bite. Yeah, I do feel like that's the child rather than Selena. But knee issues coming up in the future as well. So look after those as well. You know, it just feels like, kind of feels like that thing where you injure your knee and then it just takes forever to heal. And then, you know, every time the weather gets cold, that same knee starts acting up again. Just feels like that. So, you know, all in all, that's not really anything hugely concerning. I know that there is pre-existing conditions. Just any information on pre-existing health conditions for Selena, please. Ultimate happiness, really, because we have the sun followed by the mountains. So any issues that we do have health wise, they will be overcome. It just sometimes it's just going to take a bit of, you know, perseverance and hard work to, you know, bring everything about that out into the open here. But overall happiness when it comes to health, it's kind of, you know, every warmth is really good for Selena, though. Definitely warmth is really good. I was picking something up about cold air on the lungs there before, but warmth is definitely something, um, you know, Selena really should invest in making sure she's got warmth available to her always, because that's actually, um, it's it's better for her to be warm than cold. Okay, is what I'm picking up. Um, and any other predictions? Any predictions? Outright predictions for Selena or advice for Selena moving forward into the future? You've invested in some bigger responsibilities than you realised. We have the clover followed by the cross, followed up with the fish. Okay, so there are going to be some, you know, financial responsibilities that you are going to have to keep. That you know, you are going to need to invest in. It feels like investing in finances slightly differently to how you currently are as well. Maybe actually making more actual investments for the future there as well. But overall, a lot of good luck on your side. You know, pick a four-leaf clover, have good luck. Don't be afraid to take chances when it comes to, you know, things that you know. Especially, you know, money related, because that fish card is money and abundance on your side here. But with the cross in the center there, that's, you know, extra burdens, extra duties, extra responsibilities, but it also reminds us to, really trust our sense of faith in things, and, just trust in the universe working things out for us, and destiny has got some abundance in store for you, kind of thing. So needing to invest a little bit more in having faith, I suppose, in just trusting and having faith that things, that abundance is yours, and that if sometimes it might feel like you need to take a bit of a risk. Don't be afraid to take those risks, because I feel like they will just naturally play out well for Selena there. But to be completely honest, just intuitively, I'm picking up that this transformative energy may actually take Selena a step back from where she thinks she's going here. I know that both of these girls do kind of want to be the ones that can do absolutely everything and all at once, but I feel like this child is actually a big turning point for Selena, and understanding that following her passion doesn't mean she has to be, in 50 million places at once. I feel like this is kind of, there's a settling down energy a little bit here, and being comfortable, not pushing too far away from self and where we currently are. Just kind of like a comfortable, you're in a comfortable zone, and investing more in what you've already got, having gratitude and all those sorts of things, definitely coming through there. Okay, so moving on to Chris. This is going, I was thinking this is going to be like a quick half-hour reading. I do have a very bad habit of talking too much. But honestly, Chris, I just feel as though there's a lot of things that aren't even going to come out, because there's just so many different things, and it's like so many different pathways here. Chris, recently married. That same podcast they were talking about the psychic and whatnot. Chris was actually getting a little bit clucky, talking about wanting children and things like that soon. Chris. Yeah. Yep. Firstly, we have the unicorn, followed by goals. Okay, so pretty much supporting what I've already said for Chris here. Success, hope, freedom, healing, and magic, all available to you if you just believe. It's kind of like that, do you believe in fairies kind of energy? Believe in it, and you can do it. Whatever you put your horn towards, you can do it. You are very uniquely placed, to charge forward with your goals. That you may not realize how rare your energy is. It's like that, that you exist, but no one believes it. People still doubt you, and wonder why. Wonder why you people. I feel like a lot of people probably accuse you of just being lucky, but that's not it at all. It's not it at all. It's there's something very unique about you that you're destined to be this amazing kaleidoscope of potential possibility. There's just so much possibility with that. And the goals, progress is positive, and personal goals will be achieved. So we do see, money in that card as well. But it's like you every goal that you set yourself, you're going to achieve. I feel like there's nothing that's out of reach at this point. It's kind of like, even if you think that you failed at something, or that something didn't work out, it actually worked out in a whole different kind of way, and took you something else. It made something else work out better. That kind of energy, that all your goals, that you're going to have this sort of level of success that, like, you feel like you're successful now, but there's more. It's higher. It goes more beyond this. Um, we also have the snake. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path. Just be careful. This comes through when I get this particular card. It does actually come through as a person. Okay. And it's a little bit different to the snake energy that we saw when we were looking at Selena's cards there. This is actually like a snaky type person that they might actually, they present one surface, but they're going to twist out of grasp and create this illusion. They create a great illusion of what they are, but they're not really that. I feel like I'm just going to get some clarity on that here, just so we can, how will Chris know who this is, and why would it affect her? How will Chris know who this snake person is, and what's the potential of it affecting her? What's the potential of that affecting her, please? I'm actually getting two messages here. Okay, so I am getting the heart, followed by the stork, followed by the woman. Okay, as to how you will know who this is. So there's actually two people, but one of them, it's like, and I'm not saying that these are people that are bad people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just talking about the way that it's going to affect you. That you need to, maybe be prepared to change path at a given moment because of this person's energy around you. Because it says your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path. Just be careful. Okay, because if you step in the grass, you're going to get bit. All right, so there's two people here where if you step on them, don't tread on me. Like, I don't know, I don't even. Anyway, you actually love these people. One of them is a family member, and the other one is Selena. Okay, but the way that they're affecting you, it's because of your anxiety. Okay, um, the way that it affects you, I have the garden and then the tree, followed by the clouds. And the clouds is your thoughts, your that, and when they spiral out of control, when we overthink too much, it leads to anxiety and depression and those sorts of things. I am clearly getting that this is connected to anxiety for you when it comes to Selena, at least anyway. That there's just something about here that of because the garden is a social card. This is where it's kind of telling me that, connecting back to what we saw for Selena, that there may come a time where Selena reaches out to Chris and asks for her help and just needs Chris's support and just to be there, yin to yang kind of energy. And there's just something about that um, Chris actually just puts so much of herself into that, that she forgets to stop and look after herself and what she needs as well. So this is what that's about for the Selena thing, is that, because Chris is such a healing power to Selena, but Chris forgets to give that back to herself and finds herself sort of overwhelmed, and it leads into some anxiety, and we have some issues with anxiety flaring up and things like that. So just needing to keep an eye on that. Just tread carefully, try not to put too much of yourself into that, even though, of course you're going to anyway, but be prepared to deal with that. All right, be prepared to deal with that. And know that you need to stop and take care of yourself as well. that you can't just give and give and give all of yourself, because what good are you going to be to Selena if you are at your zero? You can't give any more if you're completely empty. So if you need to make sure that you don't completely empty, so you do need to stop and take some time to actually do some stuff for yourself, as well. All right, and make sure you're getting what you need as well, just on a personal level. All right. The other person is actually a family member that you just need to be very careful, because I am picking up there that it's just a female that just stirs shit up. You love them dearly, but they just like to stir you up. I'm kind of getting something about them actually. I don't think that them and Caleb get along. So if anyone that doesn't know Chris, Caleb is her new hubby. Yeah. Um, and I feel as though they may be. It may be actually stemming from jealousy, because it's kind of like I'm getting that you fall pregnant or start talking about wanting to get pregnant. I don't think you actually fall pregnant just yet, to be honest, but at this stage where you find out who this person is, it's just somebody that they're just a little bit, they're not doing it intentionally. I feel like it's a subconscious reaction that they're just a little bit jealous. And you're talking about, oh, I'm getting, I'm thinking we might get pregnant at da 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 da, because they love you and you love them. But it just stirs something up within them that they get a little bit jealous, and they may just say some mean things. That's what I'm getting. They may just say some mean things, and it just to stir you up, to make you sort of second guess yourself and things like that. I am picking up something being said about money, and this person kind of like giving you a bit of crap about, oh, because you're so rich, or something, something silly like that, something just petty silliness. And it just makes you feel bad. It just, once again, I feel like it just makes you withdraw from this person a little bit. And it's like, it happens in a social situation, at an event, something like that. So you're at like a family event of some sort. Um, and, and this person just stirs the pot a little bit, and it makes you just sort of withdraw into yourself a little bit, and not know how to, really come back at that 100%, because it's just like they hit a nerve, and it just sort of sends you into that overthinking thing. So just be aware of that as well. That try not to let that person get to you when that occurs as well. All right. What else is in store for Chris, please? What else is in store for Chris? This is going to maybe sound a bit weird. I have the rider. See, sometimes these cards, they all talk differently sometimes. The rider followed by the snake. Okay, so we're seeing that snake card quite a few times in this reading. But then we have the mouse as well. The mouse talks about something from the past, something that, has been lost to you. But it's telling me the noodle. It's telling me it's like news about the noodle from the past. Like it's kind of actually saying noodle man. So is that something you've called somebody, or you've thought, oh, that's the noodle man, or something random like that? It is telling me the noodle man. But there's some sort of, it's kind of good news about the noodle man from the past, and that you're protected. We have the bear here, and that you're protected from that. It can't affect you anymore. The past can't hurt you anymore. you're protected from the noodle man. Whoever this noodle man is, um, is there any more information about, instead, can I just not call this person the noodle man? Like, how will Chris know who this person is? You may actually get news that this person has passed away. Like, when I've asked to clarify how you will know who this person is, I've got the letter and the coffin. Okay, so the coffin can actually talk about a lot of things. It's usually about transformation, to be honest, death and then a rebirth, energies shifting, that sort of a thing. But in this particular case, it does feel like it may be like an obituary notice, or like it's telling me inheritance as well, or like not inheritance. It's not an inheritance. It's compensation or something, or just confirmation that this person is blocked. It's closed the lid on this cycle of this part of your life. This, because it's something from the past, and you've been very wary about this person. But there is definitely some sort of communication incoming, about you being protected from this situation. That there's even a chance that this person has actually passed away, and they that's why they can't hurt you anymore, kind of thing. They may have been connected to a church as well, or like some sort of religious connection. It's telling me something about that there as well. Why is that message coming out for Chris, please? Why is that message coming out for Chris? We have the lily, so it's just because it's like, it's something that makes you feel vulnerable, or someone that has made you feel vulnerable, and you need to know that you're protected from that. It's like a kindness being shown to you for you to know that you're protected from this person. Okay. So I feel like I might be touching on something very personal there, so I don't want to I actually don't want to delve into that any more than I have already, because it does feel like it's from your past before you ever even had a channel, a long time ago. So it may even be someone who you know that they passed away a long time ago as well, but there's some sort of communication, some sort of news or paperwork being given to you about that is just really helping you move to this point of knowing that you're fully protected and you're safe, and that that person can't hurt you anymore or ever again, or get close to you or anything like that. So sorry if that's a little bit personal there. Okay, so I'll ask about children for Chris. What does Chris need to know about potential future children? Clarify those last two cards, please. Firstly, we have the dog and then the key. It's The dog is normally, friendships and people that you're loyal to, a lot of understanding and compassion. The key is, paving the way, opening the door for success here. So I kind of feel like this is once again connected to Selena, but it's not actually her first child, it's her second child opening the door for Chris to have children. It's kind of like Selena's paving the way, and then Chris comes along after and has a child or has children. I do feel like it's children. Um, right now, it's the puppies that are the children. But, there's something about Selena paving the way, opening the door to successful parenting or successfully leading by example kind of thing, or helping out your friend leads to different opportunities there, leads to doorways of success of starting your own family. I'm getting specifically that after Selena has her second child come into her life, then Chris is going to start having children. I'm also getting here, though, we have the book and the masculine. The book talks about education, or it talks about the next chapter kind of things. I have clarified that with the clover, but I just want to double clarify this actually, because it's telling me something that I don't want to say that without clarifying. I'm actually going to have to get a second deck for Chris too. I just don't have enough cards left in that deck to work with. So this is the closest one to me. So this is the Art Nouveau, Lenormand. Just clarifying the masculine energy here, please. Can you either confirm or deny the rumors? Oh, right. Okay. So I actually think it's actually something about Caleb. Because the book's reading as it's reading a little bit more of there's just something, there's just an unknown factor here when it comes to Caleb's next chapters, or something with Caleb. I feel like it does actually feel like it's a subconscious thing, because it's like we have the anchor and then the clouds, followed by the stork. So it does actually feel like there's something holding him back on a subconscious level from wanting to jump in head first with children. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen in videos where they've talked about things, and he has said he wants children and that him and Chris are going to have children in the future. But I feel like when it comes time to actually go, okay, are we going to start trying now? There's just something that holds him back and just stops him from actually taking the plunge. But it's kind of like I can kind of see here that it's just like he gets stuck in his head overthinking things. But then it's like he all he needs to do is like learn more about it. From what I understand, he's a very intelligent man, and it's just like he just needs to research and learn everything about it, about pregnancy and about what's involved and all this sort of stuff. It feels like he just needs more knowledge about it all, and like in a logical way, and he's just not ready to take that leap until he knows every little in and out and every potential. It's like he's overthinking things very heavily when it comes to this, and I don't think he realizes it holds him back a little bit. This is in the future, but then it's going to be like jump in the deep end very impulsively out of nowhere. It's going to seem like it's out of nowhere because very very subconsciously has been holding back. But then as soon as he gets like a new perspective or new idea on there's just something that's just going to like flip that switch, and all of a sudden he's going to be like, that's it, let's go right now. Like, and he's going to jump in the deep end. Or it may just happen very unexpectedly, and even with precautions being taken. I do feel it may just happen even with precautions being taken as well. So, but like I said, it's not happening until, I don't think it's happening until Selena has her second child. So, very interesting. Will Chris have a child naturally? Will Chris have a child naturally? Yes. Yes, you do have the option to have children naturally, I feel. I know Chris has also said she wants to, even if she has a child of her own biologically, that she will choose to adopt as well. Is that the route Chris will go? Adoption? I don't think so. I have the coffin there. Transformation. I feel like something will change that changes the perspective of adoption. Something comes to an end that like it. I'm actually getting there that may actually have to do with laws being changed in America. Well, anyone that watches my channel does know I have some very strong opinions on the Orange Man, so I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, I feel like that's actually something beyond control here, stopping potential adoptions happening for Chris. So I do feel as though Chris may have 3 children, though. All up. 3? Feels about right. Anything else Chris needs to know, please? Just keep on doing you, boo. You've got a wonderful life ahead of you. We have the lily there as well as the woman. If anything, there's some stuff in the future where you are going to open up a little bit more, be a little bit more vulnerable and emotionally intimate with people, especially women. I kind of feel that this may be connected to a career thing where there may just be something about you dealing with like some sort of woman's advocacy or, emotional connection to women in some way, shape, or form there. That's just coming through as well. Anything health related that Chris needs to be aware of? Spine and blood. Why is that telling me Twilight? Isn't it Selena that loves Twilight? Spine. That's concerning me a little bit. Not going to lie, Chris. It can be avoided. Spine issues can be avoided. But there is a misalignment. In the future, there's a misalignment, like a slipped disc or a spine needing to be aligned properly or something like that. But like serious issue can be avoided. Clarify how serious issue on spine can be avoided, please. Don't fight destiny. If your intuition is telling you that something is part of your destiny, good or bad, don't fight it. Go with it. Trust it. Trust it. I have the whip and the cross there. Trust your intuition. It's actually showing me many years ago, and it's very likely got to do with travel, some form of travel, whether it be plane, car, motorbikes. It does feel more along the lines of car related. But trust your intuition. It's actually showing me many years ago, when I was young. After this happened, I said to myself, oh, I always should trust my intuition. Why did I question my intuition? I'm never wrong. Why did I, I was going around a corner in the rain in my car, and my intuition said to me, you need to slow down to go around this corner. And I slowed down, but I still took the corner, not too, it wasn't actually too fast, but it might have been too fast it was definitely too fast for the wet weather, with oil spilt in the center of the intersection that I didn't see. And so I aquaplaned and smashed into a parked car, which karma, this just happened to me last week. They didn't spin out of control though. They were idiots. Anyway, but my car was parked and got hit, and I now have no car, which I'm a little bit frustrated at the moment, not going to lie. I know, trying to get my child to school and stuff with no car, it's doing my head in. But it's showing me that accident. So it's trust your intuition. If your intuition says, do not drive up that street, do not drive up that street. If your intuition is telling you, foot off the gas, take your foot off the gas, all right? Brake now, listen to your intuition, trust it, okay? That's how you can avoid any potential spine issues, or avoid them being serious. The blood, who around you is the same blood type as you? Try to be aware of the people in your life that are the same blood type as you. I feel like it may be you needing to get a blood transfusion. And if you know who already is going to be able to give you blood immediately, that's going to save a lot of time, effort. Make sure you know your blood type. It just feels like a potential future blood transfusion coming through there as well. But that's what I'm getting. I'm getting potential serious spine injury, but it's definitely avoidable. So that potentially that blood transfusion, if that's connected to that same thing, it could be avoidable as well. But it's just sort of asking to make sure you know your blood type and make sure you know who around you is the same blood type. You may need to know that information. And situations can also be reversed as well. But that's what I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I know this is it ended up being super long reading. If you guys even ended up watching this reading, awesome. Hi. Thanks for watching the whole thing and sticking it out. It's fine if you didn't as well. But because I talk too much, I'm very well aware of that. But thank you so much. Thank you both so much for being such positive role models for women. And showing us that certain things about ourselves don't have to be things that we feel bad about, within ourselves. I absolutely love Selena being so, what's the word? Out of pocket. because I'm like that, and it makes me feel like, oh, see, if she's doing it, like, it's given me so much confidence, especially when I'm filming and stuff as well, like, to be able to film and show my face, because it's like, if she can show that side of herself on social media, then wow, like, I can do it. I can do this easy, like, to see her sleepwalking videos and how absolutely hilarious they are, as well as just her nature is just so, you know, happy and hilarious. Um, I love it, and to see Chris so comfortable talking about ADHD and all that sort of stuff, it's really paving the way for a lot of people, and especially too talking about she's her eating disorders. I know that has actually helped me a lot as well. So I do really appreciate you both being the beautiful people that you are. Like I said, I will try to tag you guys and email or whatever I can to get this to you. So, even if it's just a bit of fun for you guys and you're not taking it seriously, that is totally fine as well. You would not believe how many of my private clients don't take me seriously until there's a reason to, but whatever. You get that. Even if it's just for a bit of fun. Awesome. Happy to do it for you both. So yeah, I hope that, the universe lets you even just watch a little bit of it. If not, I hope anyone that has watched any of the video has enjoyed it, and let me know in the future, guys. I'll save this video and might rewatch it in a couple of years and see if there was anything in specific I picked up on for them both. But thanks, and make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.